What is up, everybody? This is Night Shift, and I'm here to bring you guys a video on how to make a kick-ass dynasty from scratch. Alright, so in this series, I'm going to show you guys all how to do the recruiting, and unlike some people, I'm going to show you guys how to recruit on higher difficulty settings. So you'll see me do that in a minute, right here after I make this coach Night Shift. Yeah, let's get my hat, make it look a little cool at least. Alright, so I'm just going to set my playlist up, but I'm going to skip ahead and show you guys. We're going to be playing this on Heisman difficulty and All-American recruiting difficulty. I'm also going to set the player min speed threshold down to make faster players faster than slower players, because I can't stand when a guy that's got 75 speed catches up to my guy that got 95 speed. And all the other sliders stay the same. Alright, so now I am going to start it and pick a team. And I'm actually going to start with UMASS. They're a brand new team in the game, ranked last in, well, pretty much everything. Here's the contract I got to sign and got the goals that I got to complete. Everything looks pretty easy. And as you can see, I don't have that many guys that are even over 70 overall. But we'll work with it. We'll work with it. 8 games in the season, probably going to be the hardest thing to accomplish, but you never know. We'll see how things go. Alright, the first and most important thing in Dynasty mode is setting up your recruiting board. Now, it tells you team needs right there, but team needs for a brand new team is not always the most important thing to go for. Now, whenever you're doing recruiting, you always got to go to your home state and see what you can possibly get out of that. Unfortunately, UMass is in Massachusetts. There's not really much out there for me in Massachusetts, so we're not going to be able to cheat with the pipeline state, or with the home state advantage, I call it, for recruiting. We only got 4 guys that I'm even on their list, so we'll see how this works out. I was thinking about this guy, but he's a 40 overall, and I'm not even going to bother with it. You might as well just get a walk-on for that. Alright, so now I'm just going to go through position by position and see if I can find a guy that I think is going to improve when I scout him, or that'll be fine the way he is. As far as quarterbacks go, my quarterback's not that great right now, as you guys can see before, and we're going to have to find somebody that's just playable. So I'm looking for a low star JUCO guy like this guy, or this guy looks okay. He's got no speed though, but his throw, his throw power and his throw accuracy could get better when you scout him. You don't know. So I'm gonna have to pick a couple of these guys and see if I scout them, if they get any better. We're gonna go with this guy. And how about this guy? And let's pick one more guy. No other 2-star quarterbacks out there, so let's move on to running backs. And the most important thing with running backs is really going to be the speed. You see all these guys with 4.2 speed. I don't really think that they're going to have 4.2 speed, but we'll see. Alright, so this guy ranked 1,000. Might have a shot at him if nobody goes for him. This guy's ranked 2,000, possibly. And again, we're just hoping for some guys that can run, have a little bit of speed, you know. So I'm just going to get a group of guys that I can hopefully recruit by myself without any interference from other schools, and hopefully they'll be fast enough to make my team. I need 2 fullbacks, but I'll be getting them from somewhere else, not from this pool. I'll show you guys that in position changes at the end of the season. And alright, now is the key. I'm about to target about 15 receivers, something like that. I'm gonna pick a bunch of guys that are as fast as can be. 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, doesn't matter. JUCOs, doesn't matter. Anybody that can possibly help me roll over my roster, because all of these guys are better than the guys that are on the team already. And this guy looks alright. He's a nice, fast tight end, 3-star guy. He could be pretty good. Alright, now I have the tackles lined up by speed. Now, early on, this is important because I need guys that can move. Not necessarily the best tackles out there, just guys that can move and get in the way of the defenders. So I'm going to grab like 5 or 6 of them and see if any of them get any better. If they're fast, they generally have a good chance of having a higher rating when you scout them. But we'll see that later. Nice fast outside linebacker, not in the top 1,000. Let's see if I can get one of these middle linebackers that are quick. That'd be nice. No. Maybe I'll get one of those guys. Now, cornerbacks. This is also very important. I need somebody with some speed to help me out on the outside. For the way that I like to play defense, I need very good cornerbacks. So I like to play man coverage a lot. So we'll start with those 3. Oh wow, this guy looks like he's going to be my favorite. Alright, and that's our 35 guys. Alright, so now I've added 35 guys. We got to go back to the recruiting board. No, wait, first I'm going to show you guys what I'm working with. I have a B in academic prestige and absolutely nothing to work with besides that. Anybody who's close to home, anybody who gets some playing time, those are the only things that are going to help me out at this point. And show you guys what kind of pipeline states we're working with. Massachusetts, who cares? Florida's good. And Jersey's not, but we'll fix that. Alright, I accidentally went back here, so let's go back into it. Alright, now I'm going to set up my recruiting board, and as you can see, I am not on anybody's list, except one guy. So we're going to scout all these guys, and see if they get any better. Now, the game doesn't like that guy, but I like that guy. You guys will end up finding out why later, but you'll see. Anyway, nice quarterback there, +4 right there. That's never a bad deal. And this guy actually went -1, so that kind of blew up. But he's still a 66, so we'll see. And ooh, this guy went up a little bit, so he's not too bad. Alright, now I'm gonna scout some. Is this the linebacker? Which guy was that? No, it's the running backs, sorry. Any running back that doesn't have 90 speed will probably not make my team. I got plenty of guys that I can get with less than 90 speed. It's not what I'm looking for. And I know beggars can't be choosers, but if I can't find a running back with 90 speed, then there's plenty of wide receivers that you can convert to running backs that will do the job just fine. And right there, I just figured out something. I can hit hex real quick and have the scouting go in like 1 second. So that's what I'm going to do from here on out. This guy looks pretty good. I like that. Basically, I'm going to use an hour on 20 guys. Figure that's the best way to do it. Not really going to beat around the bush and do like 20 minutes or 40 minutes. I'm just going to, wow, that guy got real good. Like that. So, I got a couple of gems that I found so far. Or at least it looks like they're going to be gems. And things are working out pretty good so far. The scouting's telling me nothing I didn't really know already, or just giving me any good news. I just want to skip down to some of the defensive guys that I need to get. The free safeties are important because they can play multiple positions depending on how good they are at stuff. Oh, he dropped to an 86 in speed. That's gonna hurt. And this Brian Wilson, my favorite recruit. I like that guy. He's looking real good. Alright. Not bad. He got 90 speed on the corner. Yeah, freshman, so end up with like 93, 94 speed, you don't know. It's possible. And that guy was alright. Didn't get to see his speed though. And this guy, I can move him 91. I can move that guy. Alright, so we got what, 1 hour left? We'll check out this tight end and see if he's all he's cracked up to be. And he looks pretty good. Alright, so that's the end of the scouting focus. So now we can skip ahead, and I believe we're going to do red shirts next. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do redshirting. Now, it's not really that important to redshirt in the first season because a lot of these guys aren't going to make it. But this guy in particular, that running back, I wanted to redshirt. Everybody else, it's, even if I redshirt them, they might not make the team, but I'm going to go through it anyway just to be thorough. You don't want to end up having a walk-on take a guy's place that you could have just redshirted and made him, or had him there instead, just in case maybe there's an injury or something. You just want to get that taken care of. So there's a couple of offensive linemen that I can afford to redshirt, and a couple of defensive guys that I'm going to end up redshirting. But like I said, when you're doing your dynasty, it's not really that important to redshirt in the first season because most of these guys aren't even going to be on your roster within 2 seasons. So it is what it is. Alright, so let's skip ahead and do the next most important thing, is creating your custom schedule. Now, this is a C-, and that's just not going to happen. I will not be playing Michigan, so I never like to play a game in the first week of the season, so I'm going to open that up and now I'm looking for some schools to play. Now, who should I play against in my first game? Maybe somebody new, somebody who was like me, who's not very good, just got into the game. But since there you go, Texas State. And let's go Florida Atlantic. They're close to me. And what we got here? UTSA, they're a new school too. I'll play them. And not a lot of choices here for this last one. I guess I'll just go with UL Monroe. They can't be too hard to beat. But you never know. I am the worst team in the game. And I don't have very good players. So, well, you're going to see that I left 2 home games and 2 away games. So that's not too easy for me. I didn't schedule all home games. Show you to start with D Prestige. And now we're going to start the season. The first week I got a bye, so I could just focus on my recruiting for week 1. And you're going to notice that I get on to pretty much everybody's intent list on my board. So like I made everybody's list, and that's the first key. I do like that they put that into this game. In past games, there's no way that you've been able to do that. Although I might have started out on more people's lists. But I do like this better, the way that they set this up this year. Alright, unfortunately, I have to rearrange all the players again because I forgot to take the recruit assist off. So I think I'm just going to fast forward this and skip ahead till I finish doing that, because you guys don't need to see me do that. So let's just skip ahead here. Yep, okay. Alright, now I got guys pretty much almost back in the order I want them. And now I'm going to just start getting rid of some guys that I know that I'm not going to keep and that I don't even want to talk to anymore. This guy first. He is not going to help me. And check out this other running back. He has some speed. Let's scout him and see if he's worth keeping. Not really. 88. No. Let's just get rid of him. Not going to need him. And how about this guy? 88. Not really going to need him either. It's not very good. So this guy's even worse. He's an 86. Let's get rid of him. So that pretty much takes me out of my running backs. I don't have any running backs left. Just review over these linebackers real quick. And I'm going to focus on doing the scouting again. Alright, so who is left for me to scout that I want to scout? Oh yeah, definitely have to put that guy back up at the top of the list and make sure that he's worth it. Let's scout him. Speed wins. Okay, it's a 90. I can go with that. Even though he's a junior, it's usable. All right, now we got 1 hour left to scout with. Let's just already got his speed, and let's got somebody else. Let's use it on this guy and see if he gets anything. No. And so that guy hadn't done everything I hoped for, but I still have plans for him. And you guys will have to wait to see the end of the season to see my plans for him, if I end up getting him. Alright, so I'm going to start with my phone calls now. You'll notice that these guys already have some stuff undone, but it's not that important. So what you want to do in week 1 is make sure that you offer everyone on your list a scholarship. So just take the time and spend the 10 minutes to offer a scholarship to all the guys on the bottom of your list, and that will give you some points right off the bat, and you're either going to jump to number one on all of their lists, or you're going to find out that they have interest from other schools, in which case you just back out and don't really compete with other schools, because right now we can't really compete with anybody. There's not a big market out there for our school, so we're just going to try to basically go after guys that are their only scholarship offer is from us, or this school is at the top of their list. Otherwise, we don't really stand a chance, and that's really the only way to get it done. Now, of the guys that I've put on this list, there's a couple that I'm really hoping that nobody else goes for, and they're kind of keys to me getting through the next season, even though I haven't really tried to get through this first season yet. We're going to see how difficult that's going to be. It's a new game. I haven't really played it too much yet, so it might give me some trouble, or we might get through it, but it's doubtful. We're going to go undefeated, so we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm still offering my scholarships up, and as you can see, it's some slim pickings for topics to talk about, but maybe we win a few games, we can change all that. Let's see, next year will be a lot easier to recruit just after one season. So, okay, I'm down to 13. I want to make sure on these top guys I get max time in. So, you get an hour in on this guy. And on these guys, you want to make sure that you want to give them their 3 promises right off the bat. You just want to load up your points on week 1 and just promise them the winning record against rivals for their first year, their no red shirt for the first year, and you're going to go ahead and hopefully win the conference championship. I'm pretty confident in myself that I can take down the MAC with any number of these guys, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a few of them, so I'm going to be offering the conference championship. If you don't feel like you can win the conference championship, then you can just offer like the player's home state if you know you're going to have a game in that state, or maybe you want to offer the solid playing time because you know they're going to play. You don't know if they're going to be good, but you know they're going to play. Alright, so I really wouldn't offer too much else besides those, but I definitely would recommend doing the winning record against rivals and the no red shirt, because you're really not going to want to redshirt any of these guys. They all need to come in right away and play. And the national exposure thing, not really. You're definitely not going to crack the top 10, and so that's not even worth thinking about. And since you can't even be in the top 10, never mind being in the top 2, you're not going to offer a national championship. So that's kind of where you're at with that. And, we'll just stick with the scholarship offer and one promise to each of these guys, because they're semi-important. So until next week, when we get to see where we are on everybody's list, then that'll change everything up a little bit. So week 1 is important to just talk to everybody and just basically get things moving. But week 2 is probably the most important week in recruiting, to figure out who you're gonna get, who you're gonna have to go after, like with everything you got, and who you can sit back and relax because nobody else is gonna go after. But I'm gonna show you all that in the upcoming videos, and I'll show you how to make sure that you get a nice recruiting class that'll help you win for your first, or for at least your second season. Because this first recruiting class is not really going to be affected by my win-loss record. They're just a bunch of guys that hopefully nobody else will want, and they'll just fall into my lap. I see some potential in them, even though the game and the teams in the game don't see any potential in them. I do. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, you guys can look forward to my next video. It'll have the week 2 recruiting and the highlights from the first game. I'm not going to put the full game on the video with the episode, but I am going to upload the full game on or with a different video, so you can just see how I played the full game if you want to. If not, you can just watch the episode to catch the highlights of it. And that's how I'm going to work it for the whole season. I'm going to put a video out with the recruiting for the week and for the highlights of the game that I played that week. Until the end of the season, when we'll get back to basically reshaping the team. But there's a lot of good recruiting tips coming up in the near future. So, alright guys, have a good one, and please tune in to the next video. Catch you guys later. Peace.